Welcome everybody to Interfaith Community Sanctuary and to our wonderful first Sunday guest welcoming us presentation. This has been a tradition that I see us for decades now, and today we are very honored and pleased to welcome guests from the other side of the planet, from Ethiopia, our very honored and loved project directors from Project Ethiopia, Wilkins and Judy Sanderman. These are brothers. You'll hear more about them when we introduce them. But they stand up and let themselves be known. They're going to be presenting today. And as we get into our service, though, I would like to ask Lila to come up and do our calling our ancestors and honoring our first peoples this morning. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to begin with a chant to honor our ancestors. Spirit of the wind, carry me. Spirit of the wind, carry me home. Spirit of the wind, carry me home to myself. Spirit of the sky, warm light, healing me. Spirit of the sky, help me be reborn. Spirit of the wind, carry me. Spirit of the wind, carry me home to myself. Spirit of the sky, warm light, healing me. Spirit of the sky, help me be reborn. Spirit of the wind, carry me. Spirit of the wind, carry me home to myself. And I'd like to acknowledge the original dwellers of our land, the Duwamish tribe. We acknowledge your presence here, past, present, and future. We honor your land and we respect you. And even though our government doesn't acknowledge you, we do in our hearts and minds. So mote it be.
And I have an offering for the Divine Feminine. This is a tradition we have in our sanctuary to call attention to the feminine aspect of divinity, which sometimes gets neglected. This is a quote from Hildegard of Bingen, who, according to Matthew Fox and many other theologians, she was one of the great creation-centered mystics of the West. This multi-talented and prolific abbess of Benedictine Abbey was an influential preacher, healer, scientist, composer, theologian, artist, and poet. She coined the term viriditas, or greening power, connecting it closely with creativity. Here is a selection of her sayings, which is quoted in Matthew Fox's book, Original Blessing. Holy persons draw to themselves all that is earthly. The earth is at the same time mother. She is mother of all that is natural, mother of all that is human. She is the mother of all, for contained in her are the seeds of all. The truly holy person welcomes all that is earthly. Glance at the sun, see the moon and the stars. Gaze at the beauty of earth's greenings. Now think, what delight God gives to humankind with all these things. All nature is at the disposal of humankind. We are to work with it, for without it, we cannot survive. So, it's at this point in our service, I'd like to introduce you our guests and tell you a little bit about what we're going to be presenting about this week, this Sunday. And so I'm going to ask Wilkins and Judy Sanderman, our brothers from Ethiopia, to come up and have a seat while I read to you their bios, because they are pretty amazing bios. So this is Wilkins and Judy. He's a former history teacher at the high school level. He holds a university degree in history, and he currently owns and operates his own tour company in Addis Ababa, the capital of Ethiopia. Awoki is the can-do man right from the start. When Judy and Dennis, our founders, overwhelmed with the logistics of digging a well, Awoki assured them that together they could implement whatever plans would help the community. He is the interface of Project Ethiopia with the government in Ethiopia, regional officials, and the supporters. And we will be hearing more about Judy and Dennis met Awoki in just a moment. And then we're going to get into is Awoki's brother. He's an organic farmer and beekeeper who lives and farms in the Danda area. This is a rural area where both he and Awoki were raised as children. He was named Ethiopia's Farmer of the Year from 2007 to 2010 for his progressive farming practices. He was also named a Millennium Man in Ethiopia. Wilkins is highly respected by all in the region, including officials who recognize the high quality of Project Ethiopia's work, and by the farmers with whom he has generously shared his agricultural expertise and advice. He has a natural ability to recognize each person's gifts and to train and encourage work teams for project work. Wilkins sees the big picture and is a change agent who can help people to be confident and independent as they embrace improvement in their lives. So thank you so much for being here today. And Wilkins and Awoki are visiting the Seattle area for, this has been a 2 to 3 week tour. They've been here in the Seattle area. They have family who live in Auburn, and they've been working with the board of directors of Project Ethiopia and meeting with supporters and people who are interested in the project in various venues. And this is their last day here. We'll be having, after the Sunday service, we're having our board retreat here in the sanctuary this afternoon, and then having a farewell dinner and be sending them back to Auburn and then back home to Ethiopia. So we were very happy that this first Sunday happened to fall on the time when they could be here and present, because it's been a while since you've been in front of our congregation. I do want to talk a little bit about our spiritual basis here. I know that Awoki and Wilkins belong to the Eastern Orthodox Church in Ethiopia, which is the most prevalent Christian congregated church in Ethiopia, and the church is a very important presence in Ethiopian life. And so I wanted to explain to them and to all of us about what does this have to do with interfaith, right? Well, in the communities where we work, people of all faiths live together, and the faith of the people is an important part of their lives, and the priests in the region support our work by allowing us to gather in their churches and disseminate information to people in the rural areas. You have to understand, houses are spread out, farms are spread out, and people don't have a lot of places to congregate, but the church is the main place where the congregation, where people congregate to meet for all important community matters. And in this church, in this place of worship, we have a spiritual discernment every year, something we're contemplating, a big idea that we're contemplating and bringing into our work. And we focus a lot on spiritual practices and interfaith spiritual practices. And so we hear from different people and different spiritual leaders about how they practice their spirituality. And today, when we hear about Project Ethiopia, we're going to hear about 5 powerful practices that we put into our work. And I personally consider these spiritual practices because they're the practices of our work in the world, our good work in the world, okay? So when we do good work in the world, it's important that we do it with a certain mindset so that our egos don't take over, or we don't get too wrapped up in the accolades or the results of our work, or whether whether we're getting recognized for it. We do it with an open heart and an open mind, and that's what I think we have found as true in Project Ethiopia, and that's what we're going to try to help each of you understand today. How does that work when we're on the ground with farmers and families and people who live so far away? How can we practice things that are universal practices that we can all take into our work wherever we are? So I would also like to introduce Judy Sanderman, who, along with her husband Dennis, were the founders of Project Ethiopia and the ones who brought Project Ethiopia to the Interfaith Community Sanctuary many years ago, 2004, I think? 2005. 2005, and that was when I first came to the sanctuary too, and I remember the day they came to our guiding council and asked us if we would like to sponsor the project. So I want to let Judy tell her story, what I call her foundation story, which is such an important part of our practice, and I'll let her describe why. Okay, so I'm just going to turn it over.
Hello, it's a joy to be here, and especially it's a joy to tell you how Project Ethiopia works. We could spend an equal time on what we do, but that's not, to me, as foundational as how we do it. So I'm going to tell you the beginning. How did Project Ethiopia begin? My late husband, Dennis Wilkins, and I, we love to travel the world. Let's go to Ethiopia. Okay. We travel independently, so the idea being we will meet more people and be in public transportation and all kinds of things like that. So we arrive, get off the plane, and the guidebook I have says that the only way to get a tour guide is to go to the National Tourist Office. And so we know what we want to see in the area, a little list of things, and we go in, and seated there is a woka. And we say, we'd like to see these things. And we come to an agreement. And for 2 days, he shows us around. And he being a teacher and me being a teacher, it's naturally that as kids congregate around, that Owoka asks them questions and interprets to us. And it's perfect for us because we have come prepared to be good tourists. We have ballpoint pens to hand out to kids so they can do their studies. And so the children gather around and we pull out our ballpoint pens. Now, breaking the story, the first powerful practice is listen and learn. And you're about to hear that I listened, we listened, and we learned, and that's how Project Ethiopia, we started with one word when we started it, from Owoka. Okay, we have these pens, and we're just set to give them to these kids, and Owoka said one word, forceful word. No, you can't do that. With the gesture too, no. It was, believe me, we listened. We didn't expect that from any tour guide. They would say, no, you can't do that. So we heard it. Now we have to learn. Why is he saying that? And he said, if you give those pens to these kids, other children will skip school to try and come and get something from tourists. So what you must do is take the pens to a school and we'll give them to the teachers to give to the children. Light bulbs. Okay, so that was our listen and learn. And then we said goodbye to Owoka and travel further. But what stuck with us is, here is this man who has a philosophy of how to give ballpoint pens. And I bet he has a philosophy on how to give other things. And so by the time we got home, we we're thinking we would write him, I saved his card, we would write him and see if he might be our bridge to give other things. So that was the listen and the learn, and the follow-up was that we decided we had $300 we could send, and so we wrote Awoka a letter. We did not yet know he had a brother. we wrote Awoka a letter and said, we have $300 to send you if you tell us how we send money, even we didn't know that. And we would like you to spend it in the schools for girls and boys equally. Okay, one more sentence and then I'll let Project Ethiopia's method of working take over. Here's what he did. He went to the school, he arranged for the 25 first children to be transported to the tailor to be measured for uniforms. They didn't even have good enough clothes, much less a uniform. He bought 86 library books, and he brought, being a teacher, he bought lots of supplies for all the teachers. All of that was $300. They called a ceremony, they took pictures, they sent us the pictures, the receipts. They interviewed him on the radio of who sent the $300. And so, as you can guess, there was another $300 coming, and then a little bit more, and then we started Project Ethiopia. So that's the first powerful practice. Listen and learn. Our steps have been culturally appropriate because of the fact that it's not that we know. We have to listen to see where they are and then learn. So I will let the two of them continue with the other four powerful practices.
Yes. Good morning, and I'm happy to be here to share few of our experiences, how we are doing in our project as a grassroots. So I want to share some experience about how we are sharing our knowledge to the community and how we are engaged a strong partnership with the community. We know and believe that knowledge is the key to solve problems. So, where the knowledge comes from education with data. It is not knowledge. To be a knowledge, it must be processed through experience. So that is why we believe that the only source of knowledge is the experience. That's why kids are get well educated and they can make a function through their life. So they must be passed through experience. You know, I received data from the school, but I received the knowledge from my parents. They're farmers. We are in the farm and we exercise the activities and we receive output product. So we organize farmers in the Farmers Association to share knowledge with themselves, and we bring experiences from other experts to give their experience, and I give a chance for the farmers to get experience in my farm. You know, in my farm, I can take two activities, the beekeeping and dairy farming. And I'm producing in a small scale crops in the farm. So currently, I produced 60 quintals of corn in 1 hectare plots of land. But the other farmers in the same region, in the same land, they produce like 20, 30 quintals per hectare. Why does this difference happen? Lack of experience. Because the weather is the same, the land is the same, the size is the same, the seeds are the same. The difference is knowledge. So I give my experience live in the farm. You have to improve your soil by compost. You have to sow the seeds by this distance. You have to cultivate the crops properly. You have to harvest properly. You have to handle the product properly. So start from sowing to harvesting. You must be work hard properly if you want to succeed regularly. And in beekeeping, annually, I produce like 60, 50 kilograms of honey from a single beehive. But the other farmers, they produce 10 kilo or 20 kilo. What? The same hive, the same weather, the same ground. The difference is knowledge. To be frank, the difference of this planet and our planet is knowledge. We believe that. So now we are sharing our knowledge for the farmers, and the farmers share their knowledge to their community. This is a way of our knowledge transferring system. And when we are working in the village, we engage a strong partnership with the community. So before we give our support for the community, we discuss with the community transparently. We told them we wanted to do this activity in this village. So our part is this part, and the community part is this part, including ownership, and after getting that support, they must own and they must maintain. So after negotiation, if we get the community trust, we go to and provide our support. That is why we are working the last 8 years in the community. When we supervise our supporting items, still all of them are functional, because the community is the owner and the responsibility of those items. We interfere in maintenance when 2 things happen. One, maybe when something accident happened in the project work. 2 things happen still now. One school block and one school toilet was damaged by a windstorm. So it is uncertainty. It is not a calculated risk. So the community asked us to share the maintenance cost. And when in the maintenance, when special knowledge is important, we interfere. It is the way that why Project Ethiopia is successful in the community. We engage a strong partnership with the community, and we transfer knowledge to the community, and the community leaders and the association members transfer their knowledge to expand to the villages. This is the way now we are working, and thanks to this community, I got an opportunity to share my knowledge with support to my community. So that is our lifetime project, because this is a way to support our community and to improve our country. So we hope that we will create one model community as an example for the country. So now we are doing here. So this is the way I wanted to tell you the information, how we are working in that community. We are working in this way. So thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. I am Wilkins. As Judy introduced, we have 5 practices. She stated the first one, that is listen and learn. The second one is engage community. The third one is spread hope. The fourth one, shared knowledge, as we're going to describe. The fourth one is hire and buy locally. I am interested to explain about how we use your money that you send it to us. That is buying and hiring locally. Here is also another no next to Judith's no. Once when we go to the shop, Judith carried a bundle of that money, and we encouraged to the shop, and it is a kind of good accident for the shopkeeper, because you see this huge amount of money. She is, making him, to increase the price of the goods. So I told her, don't show this money to the merchants, keep it behind, okay? And when we use your money, money is the most important resource that brings changes in anyone's life when it is used properly. I participated in many meetings of NGOs, another NGOs. You may have a meeting of 2 days, they give you like a salary of 5 days, in which you are not participating, simply they give you more money. Why? No reason at all. For me, that is misuse of resource. If it is not intended to be given for the right purpose, that is misuse. When we buy materials, we give money to no one. We give money, your money, to no one. We wanted to keep a record of every penny when it is born, what it is doing. So we provide materials and services to our community by buying materials from trustworthy persons. We bargain to the best scale until we get the right price of materials. For instance, in order to buy iron sheets, we bargain, and then when we get the right price, we go to buy, to pay for the person, and people will take the material from that shop, and we help them to have iron roof houses, because year after year we are changing glass roof houses into iron roof houses. Therefore, in order to help the people, we are controlling the expense, meaning that we are helping more people. We are keeping the money, we are keeping the record. Each dollar goes a long way to benefit our community. So when we buy, other partners are benefiting. Iron roofs are transported by mule carts. People are porters are carrying things. Everybody is, benefiting out of that from the money that you offer. And when we hire people, we are hiring from the village we are going. This is to distribute the advantage, the benefit. We hire the local people. We train, like we have 10 people in a hard-working team of the project, receive stipend money from Project Ethiopia, but we use large number of part-time workers, at the same time community participants. When we do a lot of work, we ask the partners of the community, we pay no money to the community. For instance, when we build a school, we buy, we communicate the community, we come to the agreement, and we ask their contribution. We are preparing, we are building from wood, plastered by mud, and the community is bringing wood for walls and roofs. They are also mixing the mud to plaster the wall. Mixing the mud is a long process. They add more and more straw, they mix with the spade. It takes time, like a month to cure. Again, they use the same thing until it is fragmented and becoming a paste just to plaster and it to be good. Therefore, they are doing the hard labor, building the wall, the roof, and plastering. We provide them their only. That is the part we are doing. We give them that doors, windows. We also made the foundation and concrete floor. We buy discs and blackboards. That is, the normal school is building look like. Therefore, we try to save the money that you gave us to a most possible way by increasing the voluntary labor from the community, wherever possible, by hiring local people with less amount of money, that is job creation, but we provide for those workers generous compared to the locals. We are trying to be generous, so we hire local people, we buy local materials. Therefore, every benefit is going to the people on the grassroots level. That is one secret of success, and everybody is happy. The beneficiaries are, getting the end result, but in the process there are many people involved in our project, which is controlled by our staff. So we hire people, local people, and we use local materials. We don't import from other countries. We don't import expensive materials. We apply the local materials with indigenous knowledge. So our expansion with a small amount of money is proven, and we are doing things in such a way concerning the budget and the money. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And the one principle we didn't talk about yet was the one of spreading hope. And we do work in an area in northwest Ethiopia, which is in a very rural area where other NGOs who may be serving in the country from other countries do not reach. They tend to go to the cities where there's more dense population. But we're working in a rural area called Dama. It starts in a little town in the middle and then spreads out to what they call worredos, which are kind of like counties or districts around the town of Dama. And we have a special way of doing that. Who would like to describe that, the way we spread that hope? Would you like to know that? Because it's a very subtle but important lesson that we learned on the way.
Okay, about spreading hope. When we start the project, we have different types of projects. For instance, in one village, we are building, giving the chance for changing the grass roof houses into iron roof, so the villagers will be happy here because they got this chance of the project. And other community also are waiting to get this chance, but in that community we go and we start another project. For instance, microloan. To the very needy people, we provide a microloan with low interest rate. Other saving and credit associations use bad and with high interest, like 15 up to 80, so no one can afford to pay back the money plus the interest rate. But our pocket of microloan is with 5% of interest rate. This is, we dealt with the saving and the credit association, this small pocket money to be administered by them and to be given for low-income people from that community. So that community also feel happy having one project in their village. This is how we spread hope. In another village, we carry another project, like Farmers Association. We gather 50 farmers, we organize them. That is, as he explained, the main objective is to spread knowledge, to tell them how a good way of experience and introduction of knowledge is important. We are training farmers, and we give some small gifts to stimulate them, like 5 sickles, sickles. They cut grass usually, and locally we have a stable food named teff. Have you seen teff, or have you seen injera? Local injera? Yeah, injera. That is produced from small grain named teff. So teff is a tiny grass, so you cut it with the sickles. If you give a farmer 5 sickles with, you are providing a tool for five family members. Therefore, everybody is happy to have the stickers, particularly during the cutting season, during harvesting season. So that family, that village, also will be happy having one project in their village. So we spread different projects to different villages. In another village, we built a school. Their children are going there. From cow keepers, they are going to be regular students. That is the hope that starts. We were countryside boys. We were playing with our father. I was half shifted, working on the farm with my father, and then the next afternoon I was going to school. So we were assisting our parents in the farm places, and also taking us for half a day. So we are educated in such a way, therefore we are giving a chance for country, rural village children a chance to go to school. So this is a new hope for the community that's divided them. And those students were building schools up to grade 8. Then, because after grade 8, the student can walk a long distance. Now he is strong enough, he can manage by walking, or his parents can assist him by hiring a house in a big town to attend in the high school. And after completing the high school, we are giving a form of a scholarship. We call it University Transitional Award. That is a kind of scholarship to help the countryside students to go to the university to be equipped with the necessary materials. That was my experience when I go from that countryside to Addis Ababa University. My materials that I came in were, incompatible to the given surrounding students. Therefore, I was by far, I was shocked when I see other students, properties they use, clean blankets, clean sheets, the luggage is new, and they were at high level, and mine was almost low standard. And now we are helping the students to be organized in such a way to have the luggage, bed blankets, bedding, bed sheets, student backpack, and even to have a small mobile to talk to the parents. Mom, I arrived safely to my university, because they are going like 500, 600 miles from that center. It is not easy that in the political situation where the country is in turmoil. Therefore, always you think about your child. Therefore, we want to help them to communicate with this student. And we also provide one round bus ticket from that town to any part of the country. We pay for that. Therefore, this is a big support for the family, having these children of college or university age. What we do when we select 20 outstanding students, 20 girls, 20 boys, total 40. We give a big chunk of portion for economically disadvantaged family, boys and girls. 30 for very low income family girls, we provide 30, and 30 for boys. It is 60. We provide scholarship for 100 students every year. Almost it is like 9-10 years we have done this, and everybody is in having interest in this project. We spread for by providing different projects to different parts of the community. This is an element of our success, and it is very important. Everybody is expecting every year which direction you are going, what you will bring to us. They are always asking. Anyway, we spread hope, we spread projects at different locations. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Well, we heard a lot this morning and a lot of different aspects of our project. And it is fairly complicated. It's grown a lot since it started in 2005. And we have, as Awoke was describing, many different aspects to the project. If you'd like to learn more about it, we have a lovely website. It's just www.project-ethiopia. That's important. There are other Project Ethiopias out there. Project-Ethiopia.org. And you have an opportunity to look at some videos and read more about the different, the ways we give hope through the school, the building of schools, the university awards, the microloans, the arms associations, and the iron groups. We are in the middle of a fund drive right now to give big, where we're focusing on the grassroots homes. We're trying to fund 40 new homes for this coming year. People who have been living in grassroots huts where during the rainy season, these grass roofs become basically drenched and the floors, mud floors become very muddy and actually dangerous to spread disease and other problems. And we're trying to transform so that nobody has to live in a grass roof hut anymore, because these grass roofs have to be replaced every year if they're going to be effective the next rainy season, and that's getting harder and harder to do and more expensive. So the community helps the poorest people in the community rebuild their home, make it rectangular in shape, and a little bit stronger, sturdier with the eucalyptus wood. Then, once the community has helped them build a home, then we provide the iron roofing sheets and help them, we provide the expertise to help them put on the roof and finish the home and make it much more healthy and livable. And then we give them a solar lantern, which they can use to light the inside after we've helped them paint the inside with very light colored yellow and white paint. So this all is a process we go through, and like what we were saying, step by step. They do their part, we do our part. We give the expertise, they give the labor, they help each other, and it works out very well. So if you would like to know more about that, please check out our website, and you're welcome to donate if you want. I know many of you in this community have donated and have been very loyal supporters of us, so we appreciate that so much. So thank you. Let's give our guests a hand. There's so much to explain, but somehow they get it down to the important parts of what people really hopefully want to know. And again, after we've closed up, if you have any questions, we'd love to answer those specifically. But let's finish up with our service. I know we want to talk about our upcoming gatherings. I know that next week is Universal Worship, the second Sunday, and the back of your program has an explanation of how that works and how we honor traditions from many 7 or 8 different traditions all on one altar, where we read from the Holy Books or the sacred scriptures of each of those traditions, all around a common theme. And as I think it's mentioned here, our theme for this month is educating the heart, which again goes along very well with how, as Wilkins was explaining, it all comes down to education, and education is deeply tied in with experience, and that's where the heart comes in. We could read about something in a book, we could even hear about it from a teacher, but until we experience it and go from what Jamal calls a knowledge of the tongue to a knowledge of the heart, that's when we really incorporate that knowledge and learn from it and help others learn from it. So we appreciate that you've been doing that with us today. So we have also some wonderful events and concerts coming up. Let me get the flyers so I don't make any mistakes about what. I know there's some new devotional service. We have 2 concerts coming up in May. One for May and June. One is coming up May 21st at 5 p.m. That's a Sunday. The Folk Voice Band Ensemble. We all know Birgit and Phil, who do the Eastern European folk songs, international really, and Jamal and will be there to share some spiritual teachings, and that's in the evening, 5 o'clock on May 21st, and that will probably also be a fundraiser for the Interfaith Community Sanctuary, which also is in dire need of funds right now. I don't know how that happened. And then Richard Russell Group, which is for One World Music. This is a wonderful community of musicians. It sounds like they have kind of an Eastern flavor with the sarod, woodwinds, and tabla. What's that? Indian classical, okay. And so Stephen Metcalf, who's a member of our community from way back, we haven't seen him in a long time because he's moved away from the Seattle area. But they will all be here on Saturday, June 17th at 7 p.m. to perform the Richard Russell Group. And we have some flyers on that. And then, of course, we have our sharing throughout the week that you can find on our Interfaith Community Sanctuary website, our meditation group, our Course in Miracles, the medicine, the women's CCUS medicine circle, our Astronomy study group, our world religion study group. We have many, many groups meeting. And Karen, do you want to talk about the Sophia service? Do you know something about it?
It'll be next month.
Oh, that's
On the
nice.
first Friday each month, it'll be a Sophia service.
Okay, first Friday of each week next month?
Each month.
Each month, first Friday of each month, starting next month, Sophia service. Okay, so there's
Starting
one.
last Friday, but it'll continue through the year.
Okay, great. So then, I guess our final plea here is we'll pass our plate and share our wealth with each other with this community. Let me get the plate. I will make a special plea for the sharing our wealth. You know, it's been a time when we've been trying to call back into personal presence our congregations and have our services be well attended. It's still a struggle because people are still battling these terrible colds and flu bugs and versions of COVID that are still going around. But this is the sanctuary. I'll be honest with you, we are several $1,000s in the red right now in terms of paying our bills and keeping up with our budget. So we would love to have people be as generous as they can with their giving, and we know there are people online who are watching this service. They can give by going to the website, interfaithcommunitysanctuary.org, and there's a donate button on the front page there, and you can give safely, securely, whatever amount is possible. We have many donors who give a little bit every month, whatever they can. This is all deeply appreciated and helps keep us going, helps keep the lights on and the building in good order. And let me tell you, most of the work on the building is done as volunteer hours. I mean, Joey has been working in the garden, sprucing up the flower gardens and the bushes and pruning the roses and doing all kinds of things. She doesn't get paid for that. Nobody gets paid for that. It's really, in fact, she's asked if she can spend some money buying, new plants and things. And I said, well, let's see what we can do with it for now, because we don't have a lot of extra money to spend on things right now. So the volunteer hours are priceless, as we all know. And we do deeply appreciate people like George who make sure that everything's fixed around the building. There are no broken doorknobs or any lights that have gone out or any toilets not working or whatever. We have people who put in their valuable time to make sure that the building, this historic building, is kept in good shape, and we really appreciate that. So thank you all for all that you have done to help keep this going. And then I think we'll do a little bit of, we'll probably end this service for our viewers, and we'll do a little bit of sharing our hearts and asking any questions we might have, and also our closing blessing. You're welcome. Thank you.